When a child is born, we often have many financial considerations that we keep in mind. We often feel some anxiety knowing that we now have to take care of and financially be responsible for another human for at least 18 years and often longer. When a child has special needs, those financial considerations often double, maybe even triple, depending on the situation and the child's specific needs. In these cases, it helps to have some guidance or some information that you can turn to determine what you might need to do to make sure your child has everything that they need. When they then turn 18, those financial considerations change because you now have to think about how they're going to be cared for in their adulthood and what that might mean for them in the long run. The first thing is to consider financial planning. This means you need to look at not only a special needs plan for your child, but also a financial plan for the entire family. For your child, the things to consider are long-term care, whether they'll need that care after they've become adults or if they'll be able to care for themselves to some extent, which can depend on whether they are a high-functioning child or a child that has more needs. Another thing to consider is insurance. What does insurance cover? What kind of insurance will they need? Government assistance and professional services need to be considered in this planning as well. If they're receiving government assistance, will that continue once they've turned 18? And how much does that actually cover within the needs that they are going to have in order to live throughout their adult life? And what professional services are provided, and what of those are paid for by government assistance versus what are paid for out of your personal pocket. Then you need to consider the whole family plan, which not only takes into consideration the special needs child, but also your other children, your spouse, and you. So you need to look at your retirement and how that's going to fit into your entire family's needs and your child with disabilities needs. You need to look at blended families that often can create some hiccups that need to be looked at, some wrinkles to iron out when you have children from two different parents that have come together and created a blended family. You also need to look at state laws and see what, if any, laws might be appropriate for the financial plan that you're looking at. Unfortunately, there are still some states where same-gender couples have a more challenging time doing their financial planning for their family than for a traditional married couple or for an opposite-sex married couple. We're going to look at a special needs trust just like we're doing in the legal considerations, but on this side we're going to consider what this means for our child and their financial needs. This is a supplement for government assistance, which is also why it's called a supplemental needs trust, as we discussed in the legal considerations PowerPoint. And so what it is doing is paying for the goods and services that the government assistance or government programs are not going to pay for or provide. We also need to look at a trust protector, or also known as a trust advisor, who has the power to amend or terminate a trust or change the trustee as needed. This is really just a safeguard, so if there's any possibility that the person who is currently the trustee of the program runs into any issues, becomes disabled, incapacitated in any way, or is no longer performing the services as needed, your trust protector can go in and make those changes that are necessary so that your child doesn't run into any issues. The trustee is the person who manages the investments, makes payments and distributions to your child, prepares the tax returns, submits annual reports, basically administers and takes care of all of the minutiae that go along with the special needs trust. And there are 4 different types of trustees available. The first is a family member, and that can be you, it can be a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, whoever you feel would be the right person for that position. It can be corporate, and this means either a bank or a trust company, a charitable trust program, or a financial firm is the one who takes care of all of that information and documentation for you. You can have co-trustees, which could be a family member as well as a corporate trust program. And then you can also have your family use professional delegates. That is hiring people to delegate some of those tasks to, like an accountant or an attorney or a financial planner. Something that you need to consider for both your estate plan and financial planning for the family, as well as for the special needs planning, is how you're going to fund it. Is it going to come from your income while you're working? Are you planning on just having a percentage of your income funded into that special needs plan automatically? Are you going to invest any of it? And if so, what kind of investments are you looking at? You need to discuss these things with financial planners so that you can determine what the route that would be best for you and for your child is. Sometimes they want you to do things with mid-level risk, sometimes high risk, sometimes low risk. It depends on the amount of money that's being funded in other ways and what your child's needs are and how soon they'll need to access that trust. And then additionally, life insurance. And this is a situation where the funding would come at the time of the parent or legal guardian's death. And of course, nobody wants to think of these things. It's not something that we want to really put a lot of thought into because no one likes to consider their own death and what might happen to their children afterwards. But it is important to consider these things while you are alive and able to, so that your child is fully cared for when you're gone. Another thing to consider is benefits counseling. A benefits counselor can be very handy with government assistance. What they can do is file your application, assist you in filling out the application, help with appeals and denials. They can explain those benefits to you. They really know Medicaid, Social Security, any kind of benefit or assistance that you're being provided through your state. So they can help you with all of those pieces and make it so that you understand exactly what is being done for your child and where you might need assistance. They can also talk to you about resource limits and rules. For instance, if your child is on federal disability or Social Security disability and is an adult and wants to work part-time, they can tell you what those limits are, how much your child can work, how much they can make without actually affecting their resources. And then they can also provide education and training. They offer workshops and training modules and programs that can help you learn more about these different types of assistance and the benefits that you are receiving, as well as ways that you can help your child in dealing with those things as they continue to grow. It's good to consider a certified financial planner if you're looking for someone to help you with financial planning. The reason is this is a person who is licensed specifically in financial planning. They often have practice and have experience in the different facets of financial plans. And they do sometimes specify what it is that they focus on. So if you're looking for a financial planner, a certified financial planner, the ones to look at are ones with expertise in retirement planning, taxation, or estate planning. A great way to find a certified financial planner is to go to the website letsmakeaplan.org. This is the website where financial planners go to take their tests and become certified, and they keep a list of everyone who has done so and passed. So you can find someone in your area that does have a financial planning certification. And much like with the legal considerations PowerPoint, we do have a resources page here, and this lists some different resources that can be helpful with financial considerations. Some of these are specific to financial needs, but others are for all different facets of your child's needs. All of these resources listed here have links on the resource page of the module and will take you right to the website that's being discussed.